Doesn't it just look amazing? I still can't believe we actually did this ourselves. That this is our home now.
I know, me too. Remember the state of those bathrooms? The wallpaper? Horrifying. But now look at it. You chose such fantastic tiles.
Thanks. And this living room! It's twice the size of our old apartment and feels so bright and open.
Can you imagine it filled with furniture? It'll be so cozy, especially with the fire going.
Are you sure it was a good idea to paint the kitchen ourselves? That sage green is a bold choice. I'm still not sure about it.
Relax, it's perfect. Bold, fresh, and it looks amazing with all that new natural light flooding in. Honestly, Joanna, we've done a fantastic job.
We really have. And you doing all that plumbing work. I still don't know how you figured it out.
YouTube tutorials are a godsend. Saved us a fortune.
True, but I think we owe it to ourselves to celebrate properly. What do you say? Fancy dinner out tonight?
Now you're talking my language. Somewhere with a good wine list to properly toast our amazing new home.
Ooh! Do you think that new Italian place downtown would have a table? I've heard great things.
Let's try it. After the hard work we've put in, we deserve it.
Speaking of hard work, there's still so much to unpack. And I promised Mom we'd invite her over to see the place.
Soon. But let's just enjoy this one night without thinking about moving boxes, okay?
All right. But we'll need to get organized. Mom's going to want the tour, and you know what she's like about neatness.
She'll love it. Though, might be wise to hide some of Mike's stuff. You know how brothers and sisters act around their moms.
Oh God, you're right. He's been here helping a bit, and he's more of the dump and run school of organization. I'll send him a text to tidy up his mess.
Good plan. It wouldn't do for Mom to get a bad impression so early. She'll be around a lot more, now that we have the space.
That's another thing to be excited about. Don't you think, though, sometimes I wonder if we might regret being a bit closer to Mom?
Regret it? No way. It'll be lovely. You know how close you two are, and it'll be great having her around after, well, when the time comes.
You mean when we start thinking about having a family? Yeah, I guess it could be convenient to have a babysitter on call.
No pressure, though. Right now, it's just nice to focus on us and this fantastic space we've created.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, did you pick up that bottle of wine I asked for? The celebratory kind?
Absolutely. It's chilling. Come on, let's get changed before I find those reservation details.
Can't wait. I'm so happy, Joseph.
Me too, Joanna. Me too. And hey, we did this. Together.
Joseph, darling! Joanna was just telling me you're taking her to that lovely new Italian place downtown. That's so sweet of you. I absolutely must see your new home. Do you think I could pop by beforehand? Maybe for a quick tour before you head out?
Of course. We'd love to have you over. We're actually just about to get ready. We've still got a few things to finish up around the house, but how does next weekend sound for a proper tour and dinner?
Oh, that would be lovely. But now I think about it, could I possibly bring Mike along? Just to see the house, I mean. I know how brothers and sisters are, always wanting to see what the other one has. He might even have a few handyman tips. He's quite good at that sort of thing.
Well, about that. Joanna and I were actually hoping to have a bit of an evening to ourselves. It's been a hectic few weeks with the renovations, you know?
No worries at all, dear. But he's such a good boy, you know. Works so hard, and with him living on his own again, he's been having mostly takeout for dinner. Wouldn't want him to feel left out. Perhaps just a quick peek around, and then we can leave you two to your fancy dinner.
I understand, and really, it wouldn't be a problem at all. How does a family dinner next Sunday sound? We could make a big meal.
That's such a sweet thought. Thank you, Joseph. Sunday it is. I can't wait to see the place. It sounds just magnificent from what Joanna tells me. Now I should let you get ready. Enjoy your lovely evening! So, Mom, now that you've finally stopped by, what do you think of the house? Pretty good, right? All of the interior has just recently been installed, so it is all top quality if I do say so myself. Rather than hire somebody to do it, we decided to give it a go ourselves. It was pretty tough, but I think we did a good job. Isn't that right, honey?
Yes, that's right. Seeing as the building is quite an old model, I was worrying a lot to begin with. But after adding all of the furniture and doing a bit of housekeeping, it seems like a brand new home.
It does look very good. I was also worried when you first showed me the pictures of what seemed to be a rather old and run-down building, but after coming to see it for myself, you both did a great job sprucing up the place. Did you also manage to paint all the walls yourself too, Joseph? I have no idea how much skill and technique it must take to have done all of that. You're quite the handyman!
Oh, no, not at all. Thank you for saying so, but actually it just came out that way through numerous coats of paint. I tried to give it an extra one every so often. But even so, it was worth coming over here to have a look, right? Hope we didn't disappoint you.
Why, of course it was. The pair of you have done an amazing job with this place. Really? If only I too had just a little bit of free time. I'd also like to have decorated the interior of my house as nice as this as well. However, I'm so terribly sorry that I wasn't able to come over and support and help you two.
Oh no, please. There is really no need to be sorry. Besides, it's not like you didn't want to come over and help us anyway, so… Plus, you helped me pick out a gorgeous engagement ring, so that's more than enough in my opinion. So please, don't be sorry for anything.
That may be so, but it was your parents that were able to gift you this kind of place. Compared to that kind of gift, the ring that I helped pick out seems like a bit of a pathetic excuse of a present, doesn't it? But anyway, I'm truly grateful for my son-in-law's kind words. So, Joanna, you make sure you look after Joseph well here, okay? Oh, come on, Mom. You really don't need to worry about that at all. Wouldn't you say I'm already doing a good job of taking care of him as it is?
But say, by any chance, will Mike be stopping by the house today? I attempted to give him a call a little earlier before I did some grocery shopping, but he didn't answer.
Oh, really? Well, since he did say he would come, I wouldn't worry too much. I'm sure he'll be here. Besides, he is by nature a very free spirit, you could say. Always running on his own time. Try not to worry too much. In the meantime, let's just have something to eat, shall we? Yeah, she's right. Plus, now that you mention it, I'm absolutely starving right now. Joseph, you sit there next to Mom. Don't worry about setting the table. I'll do it this time.
Thanks. Then don't mind if I do. Hey everyone, sorry I'm so late. Joseph, hey, how come you didn't receive any of my calls? All of the houses around here look so similar I got a little confused and couldn't find out which place was yours. The weather today is so hot too. It's crazy out there. I'm pretty much sweating right now. Oh, did you try to call me? I'm so sorry. I left my phone in the other room so I had no idea. I thought maybe you'd try and call your mom or sister so it wouldn't be a problem. You're right. But even so, I gathered that since you chose this outdated place, the person who would know the area better than anyone would be you. That's why I called you instead. My fool of a sister doesn't know anything other than the address of this place. Outdated place, you say? Anyway, you haven't had a look around yet, have you? Maybe don't be so harsh before you look around. It looks a lot different than it did before. While the outside and exterior might still look a little bit old and run down, your sister and I took control of designing the interior ourselves and gave it a total makeover. Even if that is the case, it still doesn't change the fact that the building itself is old, right? No matter how much you decorate it, the house can only look so good. When you told me your parents had bought you a new place, I was expecting you to tell me that it was some kind of upscale apartment in Manhattan. Not this. Each time we meet, I always think things can't be any worse than last time. But this is really pushing it too far this time. I always imagined my sis being treated like a princess. This is way off what I ever imagined. Well, seeing as Manhattan is a while away from where we work, when we were looking for places to buy, we prioritized them in order of distance. And also, since I was a little boy, I always lived in a house with a garden. But we wouldn't have that option with an apartment. Living in an apartment might be better for some, but I think it could be a little frustrating. Besides, there's a charm to places that are a little bit older. And with the garden, we can be more eco-friendly. I like how peaceful it is here. Despite being in New York, you wouldn't think it, would you? There's a huge park nearby too, so I think the location is great. It doesn't feel like New York because of how old this place is. Plus, why is being anywhere near a park a good thing? There are no clubs or anything like that here. Pfft, how boring. Excuse me? What did you say?
Now, no matter how close you might be with Joseph, you should still watch your tone when talking to him, dear. Anyway, how did you manage to get here in the end? Rather than wandering the streets aimlessly, I imagined you would have just taken a taxi here instead.
Well, yes, of course I took a taxi, Mom. But like I said, all the houses around here look almost identical, so even the taxi driver didn't have a clue where he was going. And on top of that, I was struggling looking in my wardrobe for something to wear earlier. I was expecting to go to a nicer area after all. The taxi driver wanted to park a little further too. But you can never be too careful in these ghettos. I wanted to avoid walking, so I pushed him to find a way to drive closer. Oh, it was really so annoying. You don't even know.
You really are hilarious, you know that? As always, why are you needlessly trying to start an argument with people?
Did you even listen to what I said? I thought I'd get stabbed walking here. You know how low-income areas can be. You can never be too careful. Especially when you're wearing such expensive streetwear like I am. My sneakers alone are worth more than you can imagine.
And so? Did you run into any criminals? Did you have to call the police? Did you use your amazing sneakers to make a run for it?
Okay, I get it. Ugh, you're giving me a headache. Just give me whatever I had to pay for the taxi or something. Seeing as I still have to go all the way back to my friend's place in New Jersey. What? Are you saying you came all the way from New Jersey? By taxi, too? Well, yes. If I hadn't taken a taxi, what else could I have possibly taken to get here? But it must have taken at least 2 hours or so to get to here from New Jersey by taxi. In that case, was the taxi fare really that low that you were willing to travel all this way? It wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be. I'd say maybe around $80 or so. What? $80? But that's far too much. Yeah, I think that's about right. Why? Why do you look so shocked? Well, I mean, it's not like the subway or the buses aren't running today. They were still available, right? I'm just wondering why you even needed to take a taxi here. Because it's tiring, duh. Plus, I hate taking public transport. People are always bumping and rubbing up against you and stuff. It's gross. I wanted to make coming here as comfortable as possible, so I just called a cab.
Whatever. I'm pretty sure there's a subway line that goes straight to hell you can take for when you leave later on. But anyway, I'll give you some money for a taxi, so you can take that and go.
Thank you. Hey, babe, don't you think taking the train or something would be better? I mean, it would take a lot less time for him to get home, too. Tell you what, keep the money for the taxi, but I'll book you a ticket to take the train back to New Jersey. I can drop you off at the station, so at least you don't have to worry about how you're going to get home. Huh? The train. But actually, I hate the train, too. Well, in that case, since you're already going to take me all the way to the train station, is there no way you can take me all the way back to New Jersey instead? Sorry. All the way back to New Jersey? Well, that's a little... well... Why not? The taxi driver I called earlier didn't have any problem coming all the way here earlier. Besides, I won't have to pay any taxi fare, and riding with you in the car will be fun, won't it? Isn't that right, Joanna?
I mean, he's not wrong. I'd rather ride with you than take the train home, too. Even if that wasn't the case, you almost annoyed the taxi driver enough to leave you on the road earlier, so it might be best not to call another one. Then how about it, babe? After we eat dinner a little later, while I'm clearing everything away with Mom, how about you drop my brother off back home? It'll be good for you and Mike to get a little closer, right?
Joanna, are you being serious? Are you also really suggesting I drive all that way? I can drop him off anywhere in New York, but how on earth am I supposed to go all the way to New Jersey? You really want me to drive alone for almost 2 hours while I come back here?
Well then, how about this? I think it would be good if I too got some fresh air, so why don't I come with you both too? I promise I won't be too awkward. Plus, it would give you somebody to talk to on your way back home now, wouldn't it? So, how about it, Joseph?
Oh, nice. Even better if Mom comes along with us too. And to think I was about to think badly of you two. Thank you so much, Joseph. Ugh, don't mention it. Well, Joseph, I have to say, even though your house looks pretty beat up, your car is really nice. I had no idea you drove a Mercedes. Yeah, I bought it recently. You weren't really going to send me all the way home on a train when you have such a nice and expensive car like this, were you? Well, actually, you see, if I'm not traveling somewhere or going out somewhere with your sister, I don't really drive that often. But saying that, it still costs an arm and a leg just maintaining this thing. So I'm considering whether I should sell it or not. Nah, I don't think you should sell it. Besides, you won't get an awful lot for a car that's already been used. There's no need to sell it just for no reason. Even if you just use it when you need to, I think it is still worth keeping. Or better yet, if you're not going to drive it, why don't you give it to Joanna? Your sister can take the shuttle bus, which drops her right outside of work, so she doesn't need it either. If she were to take the car to work every morning, she'd end up becoming needlessly tired, too. She's not all that into driving.
Even so, it's always good for a woman to have a car to drive whenever she might need it. You never know when the shuttle bus might break down. And it's dangerous for a woman to walk. Plus, if you have a car that you can use whenever you want to travel somewhere or go on a trip, you guys can always take turns driving, so it's not too tiring for one or the other.
Yeah, you're right. We drive together most weekends, actually, so it's probably best we keep it. Hey, Joseph, if that really is the case, then, well, what about letting me borrow the car sometimes, too? Letting you borrow the car? I didn't know you knew how to drive, Mike. Of course I do. I passed my driving test a few months ago now, actually. You could even say I'm pretty much a professional at this point. I heard that it's not all that hard anyway. Plus, driving is fun, isn't it? I suppose when you first pass your driving test, it can appear that way, yes. But even so, no matter how long you've been driving, you still have to be really careful. If you don't pay attention, even for just a split second, you can end up having a serious accident, you know. Well, of course you always have to be careful. Even I know that much. Then what do you say? I asked ever so nicely, so you'll think about letting me borrow the car at some point, right? No, I don't think so. While you're attending high school, for what reason could you possibly need a car, Mike? But all my close friends have already passed their driving test too. They're all driving to and from school these days. All of their parents have bought them cars for when they pass their test, but it's only me that doesn't have one. And you know, seeing as my mom can't afford to buy me one, using your car would just be as good as anything. I promise to keep it filled up with gas for when I give it back, too. As long as I keep it filled with fuel and follow the roads properly and drive safely, then it shouldn't matter, right? What's the problem? Well, I'm sure there must be a reason why your mom hasn't bought you a car yet, isn't there? You're still at an age where you don't really need a car, Mike. Besides, driving can be dangerous, especially at your age. On top of that, you should see how expensive parking fees are in this country these days, too. It's no joke. Compared to whatever money you might have saved, if you combine the gas money and parking fees, it will probably come to over double that amount. Oh, come on. I'm telling you I can manage it. It won't be that tough for me to afford. Why are you so worried about it? Hey, Mom! I'd be more than okay to drive Joseph's car, right? Don't you think so?
Well, I suppose as long as you're only borrowing it, and nothing more, then I can imagine getting to school by car probably would be a lot more comfortable. And seeing as it's a decent car, I can't see how it would be that dangerous.
Huh? But, ma'am, surely you two must understand. It's not like that. I'm the clear owner of this car, but from the sound of you two telling each other it's okay to just give it away, it's almost as if you're forcing me to let him borrow it. With all due respect, but whether or not Mike borrows it isn't really for either of you to decide. There are times when I'll need it for business trips and things like that too. Besides, even if you were to have an accident, do you know how much of a big deal that would be? Anyway, I said no, so that's final. Joseph, if you really hate the thought of lending me your car, then you can just say it that way too, you know? You don't have to keep making up pointless excuses like that. Ugh, so annoying. Do you really think if you let me drive your car, I'll get into an accident? Is that what it is? I told you I'd take good care of it and drive it carefully, so why are you being so stubborn? Come on now, Mike. It's not like that. Cars have never been the kind of thing that you can just lend to people so freely like that, even if it is to your close friends. So please, don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say. Okay, I got it. Jeez, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Just take me home or whatever, will you? I'm done talking with you now.
Cut it out, Mike. I told you to watch your tone, didn't I? Perhaps if you spoke a little bit nicer to your brother-in-law, he might actually think about letting you borrow his car. But if you carry on the way you are, then it's no wonder why he wouldn't want to let you use it. You understand what I'm trying to say, don't you? My little darling. Here, look at Mama. Right?
Oh, stop that already. I wish you'd stop talking to me too. Just be quiet and let's just go home.
Honey? Is that you? Oh, good. What time did you get back last night?
We got back at like 4 in the morning.
I thought as much. You must be exhausted, right? I already cleaned up after last night, so you're welcome.
I must be exhausted? If you already knew that, then why on earth did you think it was okay to send me all the way to New Jersey and back to drop off your little brother? I wanted to say no, but it seemed as though you really gave me no choice in the matter, did you?
Oh, come on now. You got back in one piece, didn't you? So why are you being like this? Come here and take a seat. Come on, over here. I'll give you a massage.
Oh, give over. Do you have any idea what I had to endure during that car ride earlier?
Huh? What are you talking about? What happened?
I'm talking about your little brother. Why is he still so immature? Honestly, if he was my little brother, I tell you, he's so cheeky and rude to the point where I feel like pulling his hair out.
Mike. He was acting like that on the way home, too. What did he say about the house?
You noticed it, too. Earlier, he was saying how run down and beat up the house was, which made me kind of annoyed if I'm being honest. And then all of a sudden, while we were driving in the car, he asked if he could borrow the car from me. I know he has his driver's license now, but still.
He really asked to borrow the car? But if I'm honest, to be fair to him, all of his friends have already bought themselves cars. Can you blame him for getting into them? Among his friends, it's only Mike who doesn't have one. So I can see why he might be feeling a little bit left out.
Seriously, what kind of 18-year-old has already bought their own car at that age? I'm now in my mid-30s and have only just bought my first car merely a few months ago.
But you know what kids are like these days. They're growing up a lot quicker than we did. It's a lot different now than what it was when we were kids. I hear that a lot of them are already going on trips abroad without their parents these days, too. And they have to drive to school, too, right? It's pretty common for teenagers to have their own cars around here.
Yeah, but they just need to get from point A to B, right? My parents let me use their own old car while I was that age, and I was grateful.
Yeah, but you're the outlier here, I think. Kids want the latest stuff. It's normal. It's like when they don't have the latest electronic equipment. It can be easy for some kids to get left behind. Just like Mike is with the car situation. Regardless of how tough Mike might think he is, I'm not sure if he can just sit around and watch while his friends all drive around without him. He's always been the same. If he doesn't get what he wants, then he ends up with a foul temper.
That's nothing to do with me. That's simply a poor habit that he must have picked up from your mother. No matter what Mike said, your mother would just keep trying to please him. Don't worry, Mike, my darling. It'll be okay. She even went as far as asking me as though it was certain that I'd lend the car to him. She basically told him it was okay to borrow my car without even waiting for my response. I had to shut that down immediately.
Yeah, but that's because Mike was born a little bit later than the rest of us. Plus, he's the youngest, so of course he's an angel in my mom's eyes. There's quite a big gap between his age and mine, so the way we were both raised is slightly different. But even so, I look at him more like my own child rather than my little brother. Our father passed away when he was only young, and so because of that, he doesn't react to love or signs of affection very well. That's the reason why Mom is the way she is. It's like she's trying to do the role of a mother and father, but twofold. No, threefold. And anyway, aren't all sons treated like that by their moms? They always seem to be given the most care and attention, especially when they're the only boy in a house of girls.
Don't get me wrong, I'm listening to what you're trying to say, but still. Acting to that degree is still a bit much, don't you think? It's like your mom becomes helpless whenever she's with Mike, like she's under his thumb or something. If I'm being honest, I'm finding it quite hard to understand it all.
That's normal too. It's hard for anyone outside the family to understand their relationship perfectly. It's like it only makes sense to us in a way. Either way, try not to look too much into it. I just don't want you to think too poorly of Mike is all. He is my little brother after all. And seeing as he's the youngest, you can't blame me for finding him cute, can you? He's just my baby brother. You'd feel the same too, right? If you had a little sibling?
Well, I'm afraid I'm not too sure about that. It's like day in, day out, he just wants to annoy me. He's old enough to know better. I don't find it cute at all.
Well, you know, it seems to me like you only talk this way whenever you're talking about Mike. It might just help you to say something a bit more caring towards him sometime. I don't know, tell him he looks handsome today or give him some words of support. He's just an insecure kid deep down, you know? That's why he spends so much money on clothes trying to look cool. Just say you like his sneakers or something. It'd mean the world to him. I think he looks up to you.
I did that earlier, didn't I? Did you not hear? If he was my younger brother, he'd have learned a lot about how to act properly around people from me by now. I think you two should start trying to teach him how to behave more appropriately around people from now on. He's not a little kid or a baby anymore, Joanna. He's a young adult, and he needs to start acting like one. Regardless as to whether he's your brother or not, I can't keep ignoring the way he talks to me any longer. Even if I have to do it, someone needs to tell him how to behave properly. Or if things carry on the way they are, then no doubt this kind of situation can have a bad influence on all sorts of things.
Okay, honey, okay. I got it. I understand. But before we go any more into that, have a lie down here. I'll give you that massage I said I would.
Just sweeping it under the rug as always. Hey, babe. I don't suppose you've seen the car keys, have you? I'm almost certain I left them hanging by the door in the hallway, but I can't seem to find them anywhere.
Car keys? No. Why?
What do you mean, why? I need to drive the car, so of course I need the keys. I have to go out of town for a night or two on a business trip, so I thought I'd take the car.
A business trip. Right. Well, about that.
Yes, a business trip. My supervisor and I decided to go together a few days ago. So, have you not seen the keys?
The keys. I gave them, I loaned them to him.
Huh? You gave what? The car? To who?
I loaned it to Mike.
What? Are you serious? You actually gave the car to Mike?
Well, you see, he called me all of a sudden in the early hours of the morning. He said he needed the car and it sounded really urgent, so he said that he decided to go on a trip with his friends or something like that. They said they were all going to meet in front of the place they'd booked to stay. But at that time, of course, he couldn't take the bus as they weren't running.
Joanna, are you being serious right now? Then you should have just told him to go together with one of his friends who was driving.
But he seemed really embarrassed at the time. You know, seeing as all his friends were going separately in their own cars and all.
But even so, Joanna, that's not right. How could you lend the car out to someone, let alone your little brother, without even asking me for permission first? I'm supposed to be using the car to drive to my business trip today.
Well, I'm sorry. I was worried that you wouldn't let me lend the car out to begin with. But Mike told me that he'd keep it a secret, so I really had no other choice in the matter.
Joanna, come on! Is your little brother's opinion really that much more important than your husband's? I really can't believe you right now.
Come on now, Joseph. I'm sorry. Mike said that he'd take extra care and make sure to bring it back tomorrow. So can't you just bear with it for one day? What do you say? As for your business trip, well, you can go with your supervisor, can't you? Or if not, you can always take the bus, right?
No, I think you'll find that's what you should have said to your brother when he asked to borrow our car. Why should I be the one that has to take the bus?
Well, I mean, you normally take the bus most weekdays, don't you? The place Mike said he was going is a lot further away than your work. Plus, he said he doesn't like taking public transport as it is. Come on, honey. Try and think about it from his point of view, too. Can you imagine if all your friends were driving to go on a trip somewhere and it was only you who didn't have a car? How would that make you feel? I know it isn't anything serious, but I'm sure you would be a little bit embarrassed in that situation, too.
Owning your own car at that age isn't exactly the norm among kids, though, is it? So what on earth is there to be embarrassed about? And besides, regardless of how embarrassed you might be, he can always rent a car. It didn't have to be ours. He didn't even bother to come and ask me first before asking you.
You're not wrong in that respect. I, too, didn't even consider thinking about a rental car. But saying that, whenever I drive past the rental place, all the cars are just sitting there rotting in the parking lot. If you don't drive a car often and just leave it neglected for some time, then it's only natural for it to break down or something like that. So then surely it's much better for Mike to use our car to drive such a long distance, isn't it? Isn't it safer this way? You also shouldn't think so negatively all the time. Try to think positively about things every once in a while.
Whatever the case, it's getting late, so I really need to get going. It just so happens to be your lucky day today, Joanna. You know that? Let's see how things have turned out once I'm back from my business trip.
Right, but Joseph, I really am sorry, okay? I'll call you later, honey. Have a safe trip.
Don't bother calling me. I'm really mad, and I'm definitely not okay with what you did. I just have to leave for my business trip now.
Oh? Is that you, honey? You're back a little early, aren't you? How did your business trip go? Was it all okay?
It was fine. But thanks to you, I had no car to get there, did I? Because of that, I had to listen to my supervisor blabber on about work the entire way there. The entire trip felt like an interrogation or something. We ate so much at lunch today, too. I really have no idea where I've managed to store it all. I'm so bloated, I feel like I'm going to burst.
Do you want me to fetch you some indigestion medicine or anything?
No, I'm fine. But what about you? Do you not have anything you need to tell me?
Something to say? What kind of thing do you mean?
Really? Come take a look over here. I only just organized these bags in my dressing room the other day. It looks like something is missing from that spot right there, doesn't it?
Oh, is that so? Well, I can't say I've noticed. It's not like I'd know.
You don't know? Really? Well, if you don't know, then I wonder who on earth does. It's not just any jacket that's missing either. It was the jacket you gave me as a proposal gift, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that? Well, you see, Joseph?
There's no way. Please don't say you gave my jacket away to Mike, did you? Did he tell you all his friends were wearing Canada Goose jackets too?
What the? How the heck did you know? That's exactly right. You're like a mind reader or something.
Pfft, seriously. This is really crossing the darn line now, Joanna. Not only was it the first gift that you ever gave to me, but I also was too worried about ruining it, so I never even took it out with me before. And yet you really did just give it away for your little brother to use as if it was nothing? Why? Is it because if the jacket is simply left here in the dressing room neglected, it would be a waste? So you'd rather give it away to your little brother so at least it will get used? Did you let him borrow anything else other than this? How come he didn't want to take any of my other clothes with him? Heck, you might as well have given him all of my watches to take with him on the trip too. Why not?
Come on, Joseph, don't be like that now. I thought you'd feel a lot worse if I gave away one of the jackets that you bought with your own money rather than one of the ones that I had bought for you. That's why I told him to take that one. I didn't want him using anything you had to pay for yourself. I told you before, Joseph. You really shouldn't think so poorly of Mike. Please. He's still just a kid, you know. He stopped by our house to pick up the car and he was cold. That's all. And he was excited to see how many nice jackets you had. I had no choice but to let him borrow one.
Wow. Even at times like this, you're still deciding to take his side, are you? But besides all that, at what time did Mike say he was going to bring the car back today?
Well, you see, about that. He isn't receiving my calls. I told him multiple times to bring the car back as soon as possible, and I've even been calling him nonstop since yesterday. But I guess since he's on a trip with his friends, he must be too busy to accept any calls, right? However, I promise as soon as he picks up the phone, I'll tell him to bring the car back this instant.
He hasn't been picking up the phone. Well, then how long are we going to be expected to wait? What are we going to do if he doesn't give it back and just continues to drive around here, there, and everywhere as he pleases?
Well, no way. There's no way he'd do that, right? He really isn't that kind of kid, you know.
Is that so? Are you sure? Because I'm really willing to believe he would do something like that. If he really wasn't that kind of kid, as you say, then he would have come to me first and asked for permission to take the car, wouldn't he? But no. Instead, he decides to ask his sister and tells her to keep it a secret while he drives around without telling me. I'm not even sure I can trust you either now that I think about it. You do know it's college entrance exam period right now, right? So who the heck decides to go on a trip with their friends at a time like this? Or even more, who even accepts the offer to go on a trip at a time like this? He should be preparing for his exams. I'm pretty sure I clearly told you no more than a few days ago that you need to tell him how he needs to behave now as a young man.
As you said, he's a young adult now. So telling him not to travel during the entrance exam period would have seemed a little immature of me, wouldn't it? The time for people to do what they want is always the time before entering college, right?
Okay. And let's say he misses out on all those exams and doesn't get accepted by any colleges. How about that? He'll have all the time in the world to do what he wants then. He has no backup plan, Joanna. If he keeps spending his money and wasting time so uselessly like this, then, well, then fine. It's his life, so it's none of my business how he wants to spend it. But on the other hand, he's still run off to go on a trip with my car and my expensive coat. I can't begin to tell you how furious I am. I don't care if he received permission from you. Surely you have to receive permission from the person who owns the things you want to borrow, no? Am I really expecting too much to expect that he should come to me at least just one time to ask me first?
Well, now that you bring it up, perhaps if you'd actually let him borrow the car last month when he asked you the first time, we wouldn't have this problem. He wouldn't have had to ask me instead or try to keep it a secret from you either. Could you really not see how it made Mike feel when you kept acting so harshly towards him then? Even I've had to hear the fact that you've been getting angry at me about things I hadn't done. If you really even talk to my younger brother in this way, if there's anyone that deserves to be angry, then I believe it's me.
Excuse me? And for what possible reason do you need to be angry for? Is it because of what I said about your precious little brother just now? Is he your master or something? No matter how you put it, in the eyes of society, he is now seen as a young adult. So taking someone's car and other possessions without even receiving permission first, well, surely by now at his age, he knows that's the kind of thing that you simply can't do. Until when does he have to be shown until he comes to realize that?
He's still only 18, Joseph. Surely to that degree you can still see how cute he is, can't you? Can't you cut him some slack? He's only bound to become stressed out by us swinging our standards of what to do and what not to do around like we are. Whatever the case, I'll tell him that if he wants to use the car in the future, then he absolutely must ask you for permission first, okay? So please, you also need to try and act a little better.
Seeing as he's an adult now, he needs to be aware of these standards and how to behave himself. Since it's not long now before he'll start to become a college student, I can't view him as just an 18-year-old child any longer. It really seems like you're only this generous and caring towards Mike and nobody else. Let me remind you, it was me who you got married to. No matter how cute and innocent you think your precious little brother might be, is it really so hard to take the side of your husband every once in a while? If I'm honest, it's really quite worrying thinking about how long you're going to continue treating him this way.
Are you saying I have to keep jumping from your side to his? As you know, we're already married, Joseph. What I'm saying is we're already one family, which means that we're already on the same side.
You're missing the point. All I'm asking is for you to sympathize with my point of view every once in a while, the same way you always latch so generously onto the side of Mike.
I understand. I do. And I can do that while you're stood here next to me, but Mike lives all on his own, and it must be so hard for him, you know? It's not like our mom is getting any younger either. If I look at the situation realistically, the only person who'll have to look after him is me. So surely you can understand why I am the way I am with him, right?
You always have some kind of way of making an excuse for these things. It's quite impressive, really. Just like how you somehow managed to let him run away with my car so carelessly without any conditions. What on earth are we going to do if he ends up in an accident while driving, huh? Tell me that!
Joseph, come on! You're really worrying for no reason at all right now. But if you're really that worried, I'll give him another call, okay? You go and rest. I'll handle it.
Hey, Mike! Why haven't you been receiving mine and your sister's calls? Why do you keep ignoring us? We were calling you all night, too. I already know everything about you taking my car, by the way. I finished talking to your sister about everything that has happened, so you better come home with my car as quickly as possible. Okay, sure thing. I understand. I need to use it just for one more day, and then I'll make sure to bring it back tomorrow, okay? So there's no need to worry. You still need to use it today as well? I'm pretty sure your sister told you to bring it back straight after your trip, did she not? So why do you need it for an extra day? It's already been about 3 days, right? Well, some kind of situation has arisen, so I just need it for today, too. Situation? What kind of situation are you talking about? Oh God, come on. What's with all of these questions? One after another, after another, after another. What are you, my mom or something? Oh please, this is my car we're talking about. I have every right to know what kind of situation there might be. If you think I'm interrupting whatever it is you have going on, then simply return my car and I'll leave you alone. Do that and I'll have no reason at all to keep contacting you. Oh my lord, you are so annoying. I've told you so many times that I'll bring it back. Just wait a little bit, will you? Besides, you said you don't even use the car that much and you might even sell it, didn't you? So why are you so obsessed with your car all of a sudden? Just because I don't use it often, does that really give you a right to take it everywhere with you? I think you forget that I'm a working man. I have lots of things I need to do, and especially this month I have an awful lot of business trips that I need to go on. Not that that's any of your business. You're already 18. You should know better by now. You can't just take other people's things. Are you really that worried that I won't bring your precious little car back? Well, maybe the more you rush me like this, the less likely I'll be to bring it back at all. Sorry. What did you just say? You better get home and bring that car back this instant. We need to have a chat, young man. And what if I don't want to talk to you? I don't really like talking to people face to face, so chatting on the phone like this is much more comfortable. But anyway, I'm going to put my phone away now, so if you need me, you're better off sending me a text message. Bye! You have no idea how serious what you're doing is.
What did you just say? You're going to report him? What on earth for?
Come on, Joanna, just take one look at the situation we're dealing with right now. All we asked was for him to return the car, and that was almost a week ago now. But has he given it back? No. And what's more, he's ignoring both of our attempts to contact him. He's not even reading my text messages anymore either. This is simply theft.
But Joseph, let's talk about this. Even if that is the case, and he really is acting like this, if you do end up reporting him, then, well, look, he's not a thief, okay? He's my little brother and your brother-in-law.
If you don't ask someone for permission from the start and just take their car without asking, then I'm pretty sure we can call that a thief.
I told you I gave him permission to take the car.
Well, I'm afraid it's not your car to give permission for. It's my car, Joanna.
Joseph, come on. Try and calm down just a little, would you? I understand that you're mad that Mike is just acting and behaving in whatever way he pleases. But please, this isn't a good way of dealing with things.
If he's not listening to me, even when I am being fair, then the only good way to deal with it is harshly, isn't it? I'm just going to see how he reacts when I tell him that if he doesn't bring the car back soon, I'll report him to the police. And if we think realistically about all this, he's been driving around without any insurance in my car, Joanna. Do you know what the potential repercussions are for breaking the law like that? Well, do you? This isn't just something that you can stand idly by and watch happen either, Joanna.
Okay, you're right. I'll tell Mike to get himself home today, and I'll go and get your car back straight away.
Has it really taken you that long to come to that conclusion? Why is it that when I said I'd go and look for my car myself, you told me to hold on a while and just wait? But as soon as I say that I'm going to report him to the police, all of a sudden you say you'll go and fetch it instead? You really are hilarious, you know that? And on top of that, I don't even know how many times I've been over there, but there's been not a single person home, let alone my car.
I know, I get it. I'm really sorry for everything, okay? It was all my fault. Whether you wait here or come with me, I'll make sure to come back with the car keys, okay? I promise. Honey, come on, look at me. Please don't go reporting him to the police, okay? We don't need to do that.
Well, if I'm honest, Joanna, I've been thinking a lot about a lot of things these days. It's not like us to be arguing every day like this, is it? It's really not like us at all. But it seems that after we got married, every time we end up talking about your brother, we always end up shouting at each other in this way. You know, if I'd have known that you had a sibling who acted like this before we got married, then, well, honestly, I don't think we would have gotten married had I known that.
What is that supposed to mean? What are you saying? You don't think you'd have married me? Then are you trying to say you regret getting married to me? Is that what this is?
You know what? Yes, I do regret it. My dream of getting married happily did not involve arguing with my wife every day about her nuisance of a little brother. I always thought getting married would mean having someone on my side, you know? I didn't imagine having a wife who would just disregard my feelings like this and prioritize her little brother. Do you really think the situation we're in right now is a good one, Joanna? Honestly?
It might be true that we've been quarreling a bit more than usual these days, but not at any point have I even thought about regretting our marriage.
This is what I'm trying to say, Joanna. Hang on a minute. My phone's ringing. Hello? Who is it? Hello? Yeah, hi there. Is there a Mr. Joseph Connors there? Well, yes, there is. That's me. Who is this? Is everything okay? Yeah, my name is Officer Davis. I'm a member of the New York Police Department. Can I ask, are you the owner of a red Mercedes A-Class? Yes, that's correct. That's my car. Well, I'm afraid I have to say that your vehicle has been involved in a traffic accident on the road, sir. And I'm afraid that it was your vehicle that is said to have caused the accident. Whoever it was that was driving your vehicle appears to have fled the scene shortly after the accident took place. But thankfully, an eyewitness was able to remember the vehicle's registration number, hence why I'm calling you right now. After searching the registration number in our database, it has come back that you are noted down as the main driver of the vehicle. By any chance, can I ask what relation you are to the driver of the vehicle? I'm sorry, did you say traffic accident? That's correct. The other vehicle's driver, along with their family, have been severely injured and are currently being transferred to the nearest hospital. And whoever it was that was driving your vehicle at the time of the incident is now being tracked down by another officer as of now. Anyway, seeing as we've now confirmed that you are the owner of the vehicle, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to come down to the station as soon as you can. I'm sorry, but... oh my. What on earth has happened? The victims, are they okay? You said they were severely injured? Yes, I'm afraid the driver of the other vehicle is in pretty bad shape. It looks quite serious. Unfortunately, I too don't know all the details, but as of the time of dispatch, it was reported that they are currently in a state of coma. Also, in the meantime, if by any chance you manage to get hold of the driver of your vehicle, we request that you tell them to give up all thoughts of escaping and turn themselves in immediately. There's no use running away as their capture is imminent. Yes, sir. Of course. I completely understand. Thank you.
Honey? What's going on? Is everything okay? Who called? Why are your hands shaking like that? Come on, say something! I heard you say something about an accident? What's happened, Joseph?
I think you better call Mike right this instant, Joanna. This is urgent.
What? You need me to call Mike now? But why?
He's already been identified by the police as the driver behind a traffic accident that took place just a little while ago. You need to call him now and tell him not even to dare think about trying to run away and turn himself in at the police station right now. They've already identified him as the main suspect, and they're on their way to track him down.
What? Main suspect? Traffic accident? Hold on, Joseph. What on earth are you rambling on about?
Good. You're here. Mr. Joseph Connors, I presume? Yes, sir. That's me. Oh, my word. What's the situation now? What on earth happened? Why did this kind of accident take place? Well, the suspect's vehicle ignored the stoplight at a busy intersection and illegally proceeded to turn left at the lights. Unfortunately, at that time, the other party's vehicle intended to carry on straight ahead, as they would. However, this meant that the two vehicles were involved in a head-on collision. The driver of the vehicle that suffered a severe impact originally intended to exit the vehicle straight away and get to safety. However, before they were able to do so, the driver of Mr. Connors' vehicle collided, ending up striking the driver directly before proceeding to take off in the other direction. Not only do we have the dashcam footage from the victim's car, but we have also managed to obtain CCTV footage from the intersection where the incident took place. There were also multiple eyewitness accounts who thankfully gave statements about what they saw.
There's no way. This can't be happening. Tell me this isn't true. Then what about our car? Is my little brother okay? How injured is he?
The suspect's vehicle initially tried to escape, but due to its poor condition from the collision, it has since broken down and come to a halt. We've had multiple reports come in recently to keep us updated. I've just heard from one of my colleagues that he's apprehended the suspect and is currently on his way with them to the police station. Since Mr. Connors' vehicle is registered within our county lines, we're expected to carry out an investigation of the vehicle. As soon as the suspect arrives at the station, we'll be sure to test his blood alcohol levels and, of course, bring him in for questioning.
Blood alcohol test? No! I'm sure this is all a huge misunderstanding. My brother would never dream of doing such a thing. It was probably all just a mistake. He only received his driver's license not too long ago, so perhaps he got a little confused at the traffic lights or something? Right? It was probably an honest mistake, right? Please, officer, is there no way we can not press charges? Or perhaps just forget about what happened? I'll make sure to give him a good scolding when we get home. That's for sure.
Unfortunately, that isn't for me to decide. It will be up to the victim and the victim's family whether they want to press charges against your brother or not. And I've just now tried looking into who is actually registered and insured to drive this here vehicle. I'm afraid that the only names that come out to say are covered in the insurance excess fee are a Mr. Joseph Connors and a Mrs. Joanna Connors. There's no mention of anyone else here. From what I can see, it looks like Mr. Mike Smith was driving this vehicle without any valid insurance. Both in the case of an accident with an uninsured driver and the handling of said insurance are dealt with differently. But I'm afraid that dealing with the victim and their family will also be rather difficult too.
Without insurance? What do you mean, uninsured? Who is uninsured? Besides, this vehicle is my husband's vehicle anyways, so… Are you saying that he isn't permitted to drive the vehicle under my husband's insurance policy?
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly what I'm saying. As of the time of the incident, only 2 names included on this vehicle's insurance policy were those of your own and your husband's. I'm sure when Mr. Mike Smith arrives, he'll be able to explain everything in much more detail. First and foremost, listening to his statement and testimony is the most important thing right now.
No. That simply won't do. This can't be happening like this. It can't. I'm sure he recently put himself on the car's insurance, no? Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what he did. This is some kind of mistake.
Well, even if that was the case, I've completely checked our system multiple times now. And each and every time a Mr. Mike Smith doesn't show up anywhere on any insurance policies on any vehicle registered within our county.
No, that's not true. That's not right. I'm telling you that can't be the case. Why on earth would my little brother cause a traffic accident so needlessly and recklessly like that? I'm sure somewhere there was a mistake on the other driver's behalf too, isn't there? There must be. I bet there's a fault with their vehicle that caused the crash. It's not just Mike who is at fault here. So then of course there's no doubt that an accident took place. It was the other party's vehicle, not ours.
Mrs. Connors, I would kindly ask you to please calm down and try not to escalate the situation. Now is not the time to be getting so worked up and agitated. I'll say this one more time for you, sir. The dire situation we find ourselves in right now is no joke. There is a very severe accident that has taken place with very serious consequences that come with it. Excuse me, officer. I would also like to report an additional accusation of theft, too. Excuse me. You'd like to report a theft? At this time? Yes, sir, that's correct. It seems Mike Smith was using my car however he pleased and without my consent. IT was also extremely concerned that this kind of situation would arise, and so I requested multiple times for him to return my vehicle to me. However, these requests seem to have fallen on deaf ears as he continued to ignore all my attempts at contacting him. Since an accident was caused by someone else using my vehicle by their own accord, of course I would like to ask who it is that must take responsibility for the events that happened tonight.
Joseph? What the heck are you going on about right now? This entire situation is already too chaotic and confusing as it is, without the need for you to be bringing up even more problems.
Actually, I think you'll find the reason tonight panned out like it did is because of you. Am I really going to have to report you two for assisting in a crime here, Joanna?
Joseph, get a hold of yourself!
Shut your mouth, Joanna. It's your precious little brother who is the criminal in this situation we find ourselves in now. Not only did he cause the darn accident, but he went on to hit them again and then go as far as to try and run away from the police instead of facing the consequences. And yet you're still trying to shield him, aren't you? After everything that has happened thus far, what on earth are you planning to do here? Are you really not embarrassed in the slightest? Take a damn look at yourself, Joanna.
I'm also going crazy listening to all of this too, you know. This is my little brother we're talking about here.
But I've told you all of this before, haven't I, Joanna? I told you that the consequences of driving someone's vehicle while uninsured were nothing short of severe. And now look at what's happened.
And so? What exactly are you trying to say here, Joseph? Are you relieved now that Mike was finally involved in a traffic accident? Is this what you wanted all along? This entire situation worked out exactly how you thought it would, didn't it? How does that make you feel, huh? I bet you are happy about this, aren't you?
You really are a disgrace, Joanna Connors. I thought better of you. I really did.
Me? And what about you? You think you're any better? I can't even tell if you're upset that a member of our family was involved in a traffic accident or not. And what's more, you really want to file another report? For theft? Don't you think the reason he ended up fleeing was due to how much shock he was in because of the accident?
Are you even listening to yourself right now? Mike is not the victim here, Joanna. The victim is in the hospital in a coma fighting for their life as we speak. If you have enough time to stand around here arguing about this entire mess of a situation, then perhaps you should spare some time and go and beg for forgiveness from the poor victims. That's exactly what you should be doing at this moment in time.
Are you kidding me right now?
I'm so sorry, ma'am. Are you okay? How are you feeling? I'm sorry that it had to come to this.
I'm fine, thank you, Joseph. But still, I can't even begin to tell you how surprised I was yesterday. Honestly, when I first received that phone call, I was convinced that I was going to pass out. This horrible feeling came over me. And then after you guys went to the hospital yesterday, even Joanna wasn't accepting any of my calls. I couldn't get a hold of her. So I thought the only thing I could do was to go to the hospital and meet the family myself.
Okay. And was everything okay? What happened?
Well, you see, the thing is, as I'm sure you saw yesterday too, among all of those injured, the poor man who was driving the other car still hasn't awoken from his coma. And so the entire family said that they would never come to an agreement to not press charges against my Mike. They seemed quite hostile about it too. It wasn't just me either. They also treated Joanna the same way, bombarding her with curses and all sorts. Surely there must be some way for them to forgive us. Even so, I thought perhaps seeing as you are the owner of the car, maybe you could go to the hospital and try and talk to them too. They might be more willing to reason with you. If it was me who was originally the car owner, then I would tell them that Mike was just driving around foolishly as young adults do, and it was just a mere mistake that the accident occurred, and that there really is no need to go as far as pressing charges. If by any chance you were able to say something like that to them, I'd be forever grateful.
Excuse me? You're asking me to go and ask them for forgiveness myself? And why should I be expected to do that?
Well, you are the owner of the car after all.
Huh. That might be so, but it was your son and daughter who fooled around with that car without asking the owner for permission. But now, just as I happen to have predicted, there's been an accident, and all of a sudden you want to add me into the equation? Besides, I went to the hospital myself yesterday too. I apologized to everyone there, and I think that is more than enough on my part. If anything, it is a certain Mr. Mike Smith's responsibility, wouldn't you agree? He wanted to be a big, tough guy, driving my Mercedes around. He can take the responsibility now, right? Just causing a traffic accident is a big enough deal by itself, but to strike a person down too? What on earth was he thinking? He must have been out of his mind.
Well, yes. Everything you have said is correct. I really am listening to everything you have to say with the utmost care. I really am, but whatever me or Joanna does, it doesn't seem to be enough for them. They just won't listen to us. She's right, honey. I'm sorry for everything. I really am. I didn't mean to shout at you the way I did yesterday. I was so worried about Mike at the time that I didn't even realize how I was acting towards you. I had no reason to act that way. It wasn't your fault. There was no need for me to get so angry at you like that. I never thought that treating my son the way I did would come back to bite me like this. Oh, Joseph, please. If going and asking them for forgiveness is too much to ask, then is there any chance you could possibly help us with giving them some compensation money?
What? Compensation money? What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're going to need settlement money after everything that has happened. Everybody who was in the car ended up getting admitted to the hospital. And on top of that, I've heard that the driver of the car will most likely have to go in for brain surgery, so the medical fees are bound to be through the roof. Plus, after hearing what the police officer said the other day too, If we were able to give the victim's family enough compensation money to feel satisfied, then it could be likely that the family decides to drop all charges against Mike that they might be planning to press. Because of that, I think our next best plan of action should be preparing whatever compensation money we possibly can. In any case, since Mike already wasn't insured in Joseph's car, we can't use the insurance as a way to help us with the funds. But even if we put all of our money together and total it up, I think it will probably still not be sufficient enough for them. And of course, of all things, it was one of those expensive European cars that ended up getting wrecked in the accident. Well, either way, Mom has sold her house in order to help contribute to the compensation money. But still, the medical fees are going to be so high that I'm not even sure if that will be enough.
Your mom sold her house? To clean up your brother's mess?
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. How about if we sell the house we're living in now, too? We could add that money to the compensation funds, too. Of course, I'll add whatever money I have saved up to that amount, too.
You can't be serious. Are you suggesting we sell our house? The one that we've spent so much time, money, and effort building into our home?
I'm afraid so. It's not like we don't have jobs. We can carry on earning money, and somewhere along the line, we can buy a better house with the money we've saved, can't we? Until then, we can just rent somewhere smaller. Above all else, the most important thing is helping out Mike. If we don't do this, he's probably going to end up in prison. What else are we supposed to do? The poor thing is probably sitting all alone in his holding cell right now, not knowing what's going to happen.
You really are crazy. You must be out of your darn mind, too.
Huh? What? What do you mean?
It seems like you really can't fully understand this entire situation, can you? There is no way I am going to that hospital to ask for any kind of understanding from the family. Never mind going and asking for forgiveness. But now, of all things, you're asking me to sell my house to contribute towards some compensation money? Why should I do that? Not to mention the car that I only bought not too long ago has been absolutely scrapped. Furthermore, you want me to take on even more responsibility for Mike? He is the one who is at fault here. Me and that poor family are victims of his. It's exactly for that reason that I filed a robbery report against him yesterday. I'm not the one who should be suffering the consequences for this. I'm just the guy whose car he stole.
Are you being serious about that? You're really going to report Mike for theft? Come on now, Joseph. I'm begging you, please. There's no need for that. Really, there's no reason to report Mike. We're all one family here, are we not?
Family? Did you say family? And who are you talking about? You're not talking about us, surely. Not me, I'm afraid. I'm going to get divorced from this woman standing over here.
Divorced? What the heck has gotten into you, Joseph? Just calm down.
I'm sorry. It appears as though you have completely forgotten everything I told you yesterday. So let me remind you. I regret ever getting married to her. Even after the accident that happened yesterday, you really still couldn't come to your senses. And even now you stand before me asking for such nonsense like compensation money. Just listening to the pair of you say such things is enough. Be honest. What do you think I really want to do? In a perfect world, I'd go back in time and never marry you in the first place. I should have seen all of the red flags. If it wasn't for Mike's downright act of stupidity that caused the traffic accident, then I'm sure that poor guy would have probably gone to work today. He'd probably even be eating lunch with his colleagues right now. But no, that isn't what's happening right now, is it? Now because of Mike, any sense of normality will be lost for him now. We don't even know if he'll ever fully recover. Not to mention his poor kids who bore witness to their dad being injured in such a horrific accident. And his wife? I heard she fainted too. And yet all either of you seem to care about is your precious little Mike, the idiot criminal who caused this tragedy. Do you really think that after seeing what went down yesterday, I'm going to want to take the side of Mike? I had no part to play in any of this, Joanna. None of this is my fault, and yet my chest feels like it's about to burst because of this whole mess. You both keep talking about the importance of family, but how can you say that with such disregard to the family that is suffering right now?
Joseph, I'm afraid the more I listen to what you say, the more out of order you are becoming. What is it that Mike did so wrong? Are you really under the assumption that he wanted an accident to happen? They were all violating the traffic signals.
I can't even begin to understand how you can justify his actions so willingly like this. You're just sticking your head in the sand at this point. You heard the police officer. That other family was following the laws perfectly. It was Mike who was completely in the wrong. And not only that, but he hit the driver directly and fled the scene right after the crash. Excuse my language, but you're not a psychopath, are you?
What? What did you just call me? Psychopath? Oh, is that so? And what are you going to do? Hit me? Go ahead. Then I'll just report you to the police for assault too.
At least to me, seeing this entire family being put in a cell is more than worth it for being punched in the face.
Joseph, you're really scary, you know that? How could you act this way towards us? Towards your family? How is it possible to become this angry over something so unimportant? All because Mike took your car without asking for permission?
That's right. Above everything else, I am the scary one, Joanna. To think that I'd ever agree to get married to such a useless woman like you. I must have been out of my mind. It really is terrifying just to even think about. Anyway, that's that. I want a divorce, and I want it as soon as possible.
No, I refuse. Why should I agree to something that I don't want?
Listen here, Joanna. This isn't the kind of thing that you can just quarrel about like little kids. I've already made up my mind, so there's no going back now. I hope you know that. There's no way we could ever possibly go back to the way things were. Back to when we first got married.
Then at least give us the compensation money. Then I'll agree to get a divorce.
Wow. I don't know why, but I'm surprised that you're resorting to such childish methods like this. I've asked you multiple times now. Why on earth should I give a single penny to you for compensation? This is all because of your precious little brother, not mine. So this is all your responsibility to take, not mine. And by the way, just in case you might have forgotten, this house was bought for us by my parents. This home has absolutely nothing to do with you and your family. It has no relation to any of you at all. Are you not even the slightest bit embarrassed that you could be so brazen to make such ridiculous requests like that?
Joseph, please. I'm begging you right now. If you turn your back on us all now, we'll have absolutely no one and nowhere else left to turn to. Please don't throw our marriage away like this, Joseph. Just think about it, please. She's right. You really don't know how much you mean to us, Joseph. Regardless of how rude and disrespectful Mike has been to you before, I've only ever treated you like the son you are to me. Are you really telling me there's no possible way you'd be willing to help us at all? I know it wasn't much, but I was still the one who found those gorgeous wedding rings for the pair of you, wasn't I?
I'm afraid that was merely one time and was a special circumstance. Wouldn't you agree? Are you really under the impression that you two shouldn't be held responsible for anything that has happened? Listen, lady. Just like this poor excuse of a woman, you also sheltered Mike and gave him everything he wanted, causing him to act in the way he does. And if you're really that bothered about the rings, then take them with you. I have no use for them at all anymore anyway.
Lady? And who do you think you're calling lady? Just because you've expressed your interest in divorcing my daughter does not give you the right to call me lady. What has our Mike possibly done to you to cause you to behave this way? I was biting my tongue up until now, Joseph. I really was. But talking to me in that tone really was the final straw.
Then would you rather me call you by something else? How does witch sound?
Hey, it's one thing talking to me that way, but to think you can get away with talking to my mom like that too? Are you crazy?
Oh God, you're so darn loud, you know that? I've had enough of all this. Get out of my house right now, the pair of you. Or I'll call the police. You got that?
Fine, we'll leave. Come on, Joanna. Let's get out of this garbage dump of a house. No matter how hard circumstances might get, families are supposed to stick together and support one another. But it's your loss. Go and enjoy the rest of your life without us as your family. I'll be cursing you every day until the day I die for what you've done and how you've acted here today.
I'll be waiting attentively to see how well you manage to pay for all of Mike's sins and future crimes he's likely to commit. In that case, I think we're done here. Bye.
Why,
Get off me! Hey, come on! I told you if you grab onto me like that, it hurts! Be gentle with me, would you? I see you are still doing an absolutely amazing job of keeping your temper under wraps, then. Huh? Joseph, what on earth were you doing here? I heard you were getting a divorce from my sister, aren't you? Unless you finally decided to get your act together and come to your senses. Have you come here to rescue me? You have, haven't you? Did you manage to pay them all the compensation money they needed? Pfft, fat chance. There's no chance in hell I'd do something as stupid as that. I'm on my way to visit my lawyer and thought I'd stop by. To meet your lawyer? Oh, you mean in order to help get me out of this cell, right? Finally, you guys managed to get hold of a lawyer who can actually sort out this mess of a situation I'm in. But still, I thought paying the family whatever compensation they needed would have been a much better way of getting me out of here. Surely that's a lot easier than going through a long and stressful court process, right? What the heck are you rambling on about? I'm not visiting a lawyer for you, Mike. I'm visiting my lawyer for me. Starting off the divorce lawsuit I plan to file against your sister, it'll include the fact that my car was stolen and used in a life-changing traffic accident. However, it isn't just that has caused me both physical and emotional damage, is it? I'm also planning on filing a lawsuit against your family in addition to that. What? Are you serious? You still haven't even gotten divorced from my sister yet, so I don't know why the heck you think you can talk to me in the tone you are using now. Are you crazy? Come on now, Mike. Don't be silly. It was always you that used this tone with me, ever since the start. It should go without saying that it's rude to ignore and talk to someone who is near on 10 years older than you in such an immature and childish way. But as I told you many times, it's your mouth and your childish actions that now continue to come back and haunt you. I'm losing my mind with you, honestly. That accident was all because of you. It was your car that I borrowed, wasn't it? Hence why it's your fault. If it wasn't for your car, this accident would never have taken place. It's all because of you. And yet here I am taking all the blame and responsibility for everything. Why is it that it's me who has to go to prison and not you? I'm sure if they end up sending me to prison, you'll be over the moon about it, won't you? But regardless of what you do, whether you divorce my sister or not, do you really think your life is going to be that different? I'll come and find you, I promise you that. Even if it's the last thing I ever do. Mark my words. And of course, here you go again, rejecting any and all blame and responsibility. Just like the rest of your family. I'm sure you'll see that the only thing that will change is, in fact, my life. I'm afraid there's no use trying to change people like you and your family. Do you really think there will be anyone else in the future that will be willing to look out for you as a friend like I did back then? The video of you causing that accident has already been spread all across the media. It's made the front page in the papers. You've left such a stain on everything that even the journalists and reporters are trying to come to me for an interview on what happened. What on earth is it that you think I really should do in regards to you? Why do I have to be here? I didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't my fault. It's only normal for people to make mistakes in life, isn't it? But why is it that when I make a mistake, I have to suffer the consequences as harsh as this? No, I can't stand it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Joseph, please, you can't go now. Please, I didn't mean what I said to you earlier. You're the best brother-in-law I could ever ask for. I'm begging, please don't go through and file this lawsuit. Even if you're not bothered about how it will affect me, it will more than likely strip away all of my mom's and sister's money and possessions. If you really go through with this, everything will be ruined. Please, Joseph. After that, I obviously went ahead with the divorce and filed a lawsuit against Mike. The divorce went without a hitch, and Mike was ordered to pay to replace my car, too. That family couldn't afford to pay damages, so the court ordered Mike to pay 25% of his wages until the amount is settled, which will take many years.
They were also ordered to sell possessions to make up as much of the cost as they could. Mike had quite a large sneaker collection, which he was forced to completely sell. As the situation kept progressing and his family couldn't help him, it seemed to slowly dawn on not only Mike, but his whole family. How they can't just excuse horrible behavior like this, and how they should have addressed these issues a long time ago. Mike is being forced to pay damages to the family he injured, as well as to me for ruining my car. I've bought a new car, which Mike is making payments on, so I'm doing just fine. I'm really happy to be rid of that whole family, to be honest. And I'll be really careful choosing a future partner. I'll be looking out for red flags from the beginning next time, so nothing like this will happen again.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe.